The movie was 100% better than the book. I want to lock in, put my headphones on. Great banter, great banter. Hi, welcome back to the Reading Gals. My name is Jen.
My name's Michelle.
And today we're doing our monthly chat. We didn't do one in July because we were really busy and we had a reading slump.
I literally didn't finish any books in July.
June,
yeah. I literally didn't finish any books in June.
I blame the World Cup.
I don't know, I just blame a multi-factor of things.
Yeah. Mostly for World Cup for me because I was watching almost every single game I could.
I just hit such a hard reading slump that I started 5 books, I think, didn't finish any of them. I had zero desire to read, and I think that's totally okay, but I just hit a really hard reading slump in June, and then now I'm like ready to go. I have that vigor back to read more books, so I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm really excited for August because I need to read a lot of these books.
I've been reading some good stuff in July.
So in this video, we're going to just talk about our past books that we read, I guess, in the last 2 months. Some of our current reads, and then we're going to talk about our buddy read of each month and our future buddy read. And this is exciting because you're going to watch us draw our August buddy read. We didn't technically have a buddy read in July because,
yeah, like we said, I just had such a bad reading month. I couldn't even read anything. So yeah, the buddy read wasn't gonna happen for me in July.
Same. I didn't start finishing books until like the end of the World Cup era. Also, I got Claire. If you did not know, I got a kitten a month ago, so I've been very distracted between a cat and the World Cup.
And I started dating again.
I was excited for you!
But I think just the act of dating has been exhausting, so I think that's a major reason why I have not been reading.
I'm really excited for you. My sister deserves love.
So do you.
I'm okay. I just got out a 8-year relationship. I'm okay being single for a while because just, you know, I feel like a divorced woman who just needs a break before she dives back in.
That's fair.
Let's talk about our last reads of June and July. In the month of June, I finished 6 books, but I'm going to talk about 5 because I did complete my reading buddy read in June, so that counted 1. But we're going to talk about it later in the video. The first book I read was Married with Benefits with Ali Palmer. I actually really enjoyed that story. I gave it a 3.5 star, and I do recommend it if you want a quirky character. I just really hate third act breakup, and I believe this couple won't survive. And this book technically is out, so I can give out shade. I read Brides of the Starling, which is book 2 in Shielded Sparrows. I give this 4 stars. I really appreciate this book. I really like this story, how it continued. I did see the trysts from a mile away, but I still appreciate it. I read Hopeless by Elsie Silver. I give this 4 star. I think it would have been higher if something didn't happen in this book that made it lower score. But I really appreciate the romantic leads. I actually do love this couple, and I love a protective boyfriend. A dog has entered the chat. Then I read Libraries and Lattes by Leah Hazel. I am originally giving it a 3 star, but I think it's a 2.5. I really liked the concept, but the romance did not hit for me. Last book I read was an ARC read, but I have the trophy, is Yes Chef. I gave this a 4.5, and I'm in love with this series. If you like Grumpy Sunshine, you would love this series. This made me fall in love with cooking. So those are the books I read in June. How many books did you read in June?
I think we already established I read no books in June, but I can talk about what I read in July.
What have you read in July?
In July, I read Still Beating by Jennifer Hartmann. We'll talk about this a little bit later in the video in our buddy read recap because this was our buddy read in June, I think, which I kind of skipped and waited till July to read. But yes, we'll talk about this a little bit later in the video, and so I read this. I also read Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McConaughey. This is fantastic. I was pleasantly surprised by this book. I went into it thinking it was going to be a little bit boring for whatever reason, but it was like such an edge of my seat thriller that I just fell in love with it. It was very atmospheric, very emotional of a journey, very poetic, I guess, in a way. And like the scene, the island in itself was a character, and I just fell in love with this book. I could go on, but I will save that for another video. And that's everything I read in July, just 2 books. I'm just easing back in.
Let's talk about my July reads. I finished Wild Reference, which was our May pick. And I guess I'll just do my recap right now because Michelle hasn't even picked this up.
But don't spoil anything for me.
I'm just gonna say I give this a 4.5. I love it. I love Rebecca Ross's work so much. I just bought a new duology by her recently, and this gave me Hercules vibes so hard, and I love that movie so much that I'm in love with this movie.
Do you think this book has the level of yearning that is described on TikTok? Because I always see this book come up in lists of like top yearning, and I crave that, so I need to know.
I think it has a lot of yearning for a standalone. If this was a duology, 100% sure. I love this world. I want to go more into detail because I have a non-reader, a non-person who read it yet. But I just really appreciate Rebecca Ross. She's becoming an author for me now, and I really, really love this. Then I read 72 Hours of You, which is a YA romance where the female lead can see the death clock of someone's last 72 hours. So this book really focused on death and grief. I gave this a 3.5 before. I actually like it more than I think it. So I'm putting it at 4-star right now. I just know the ending was very chaotic. And this was an ARC read, so it comes out September 1st, 2026. So this. And last book I read so far in July, because we're filming in July, is The Princess Bride, which, is a classic. The movie was 100% better than the book. I am going to say that now. Like, I hated the second POV voice. I hated the breakups of this story. I really hated the inner monologue of the author talking to us. I was so bored. I wanted to go back to the fantasy part. So the movie is 100% better. I think it does it really well. Plus, the movie is so much better.
It's like my favorite movie.
Yes. But this book has the same dialogue as the movie, so I really did appreciate it because I can see the actors really bringing it out when I was reading it. That's why I probably didn't like this book that much, because I love the movie. I give this as 3 stars because it was average, even though I hated half of it. So those are our little past reads of the last 2 months, because this is a catch-up. So what are you currently reading in the month of July?
To finish off the month, and I actually think I'm going to finish this by the end of the month, I am reading the first book in the Illuminate Files. This book, let me tell you, is so much fun. And you absolutely have to do this as an immersion read, because I am listening to the book and reading it physically at the same time, and I think there's no other way to experience this book. Like, that's what was recommended to me. And I 100% agree, because this is a mixed media book where you are literally reading like transcripts, you're reading files, you're reading like recaps of events, like you are reading emails, you're reading Wikipedia pages, like you are experiencing this story in mixed media, which is so unique in itself. But also doing the audio plus the read really enhances it, because there's a full cast of characters, there is different narrators for each character, there's sound effects, and it is just like such a fun, unique experience that I've never had before reading, and I'm having so much fun with it. I read the first 100 pages just last night, and I think I'm gonna finish this in the next 2 days, just because I want to lock in, put my headphones on, and just like figure out what's going on. This is technically a YA series, but it is very complex. Like, I think if I went into this without the audio, I would have no idea what's going on. So that's super helpful. By no means a immature story. It's very complex. It's very sci-fi, which if you are new to sci-fi, I would definitely recommend this, because if you're doing the immersion reading, It's super helpful in explaining everything. So I highly recommend. I'm loving, I'm immersed to say the least, and I'm probably gonna try to do like this whole trilogy this summer. Technically, I'm still reading Assassin's Blade. I don't know why it's taken me 3 months to read it, but I think I've just been reading like each short story in there, like kind of slowly, like reading a chunk, reading one story and then going on to the next. Like, I'm not rushing through that series as a whole at all. I'm trying to take my time, so I'm still technically reading Assassin's Blade. I'm reading Redeeming Six, which is, I hear so many people say that they are obsessed with it and they just like read it all in one night. I can't do that because I am so emotionally invested in those characters that I'll be obsessed with it for a week, read like 200 pages, and then I need to put it down for a while and then come back to it. So I'm still reading that. And what else am I reading? Technically, I am still reading Between Tides and Thunder. I'm about 200 pages in. This is a softie enough for me. I feel like it's very trope heavy. It feels like a run-of-the-mill romantasy. It feels like something I've read before. I'm kind of bored. I'm not loving the insta romance in this. So I had to put this down because I was not enjoying it. I do want to finish it, but I think it's just gonna be a beat before I can like pick it up and kind of plow through. And this kind of put me in a reading slump, unfortunately, but I have heard really good things and I want to love this. I want to love this so much, so I think I need to finish it. I just needed a break from it.
I'm currently reading 4 books. I picked up The Final Score by Lana Ferguson. This is the only book I need to read by her to be caught up with her catalog. And I only like started. I'm on chapter 4. Destined Dawn, which is book number 5 of this Why Choose book that has witches and fated mates. It's a fun time read. I'm there for the vibes. I'm on book number 5 of Zodiac Academy of Cursive Fates. When I pick it up, I'm there for the vibes too. I want to finish the series by the end of the year. That's my goal. And the last one is A Witch in Notting Hill. This is an ARC read, so I need to be a little bit more focused when I'm reading this, but I'm having a good time. I'm liking the book so far. I love a celebrity romance trope, so
Sorry, that reminded me of something. Keep going.
I love a celebrity romance trope, so this is hitting really well. Plus, she's American and he's English. I'm only like 30% in right now. I just need to pick it back up. I've been really focusing on physical reads in July, and all these are Kindle reads. So I'm like, but maybe August will change because today is a gloomy Pacific Northwest day and it's the middle of July, so.
Okay, what you said reminded me, I'm technically also still in the middle of Yes Chef. Where is that? So this is a NetGalley ARC read that I've had for a couple months and I actually am really enjoying it. If you know anything about me, I'm not a typical like romance reader. Like, finding romance books that I love is one of my goals this year, and I'm actually loving this. It's definitely giving me It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey vibes, which I actually really enjoyed that book. I'm really liking it, but I think, like Jen said, it's been like so gloomy, and this feels like a book that I want to read on like a nice summer hot day, and I just haven't had that. And then we picked it up this week physical, so I'm hoping if we have a nice day I can physically bring this out on the patio and just wrap it up, but I'm really liking this.
I give that a 4.5. I know I said that earlier, but I read it before it came out as an ARC read. I love it. Grace Briley blew me away as an author, and then now I want to pick her back catalog.
Yeah, as someone who doesn't typically like romance, I'm really enjoying this. So definitely need to finish this, just waiting for the right moment, the right vibe, but really liking it. I'm about like 35% in, I think.
It's the banter.
Great banter. Great banter.
So that's what we were currently reading. Now we're going to talk about a little bit of our buddy reads. We try to read one book a month together because, you know, we're sisters, we live together.
We like reading the same books together, at least one book a month. We've been really enjoying it because it gives us a chance to like talk about books. Like, I feel like often we read the same books, but they're like months or years apart. So this year we're really trying to lock in and at least read one book a month that is the same book so that we can discuss it in a timely manner.
In the month of May, our book was Wild Reference. I actually completed it in the month of July. I really liked it. I give this a 4.5. I said that earlier. And I love that it is a standalone, and I just, again, love Rebecca Ross. I won't go more into it because my sister hasn't read it yet. So
I failed on the May buddy read. I really did. Our mom read it. She was going to do it with us, and I think she gave it like a 4.
I think she gave it a 4-star.
Yeah, she actually liked it, and she's not really a fantasy reader. I really want to read this. It's still very high on my TBR, but I think, like I said earlier, I've just been in a super slump, so I just couldn't get to it. Yeah, still really high on my TBR. I feel like I watch so many TikToks that talk about yearning because it's one of the things I look for in books, and this always comes up as top tier yearning. It's on my radar for sure, and hopefully I can still read it by the end of the year, but I did not get into it in May or June or July. Our June buddy read was Still Beating by Jennifer Hartmann. This is part of the challenge for me to like find more romance books that I like. So we've been throwing like some dark romance and fantasy romance into the ring, like for our buddy reads, and just trying to like do anything that we can like read on Kindle Unlimited or something that we can both read. But anyway, what are your thoughts about this book? How many stars did you give this book?
I gave this a 3.5 star. I love the beginning. I love how dark it was. I was really into it. Just a spoiler warning, we might be talking about this book, and if you don't know anything about it, just skip through. If you don't see it on the screen, just skip through.
Okay, we're not going to give any spoilers for this book, but if you want like 0% spoilers, maybe skip ahead to the next section because we are going to be discussing like themes of this book, and I don't think we can really talk about it without at least discussing the themes. Even if we don't give any direct spoilers. So you gave this a 3.5.
I gave this a 3.5. What did you give that?
I think I also gave it a 3.5. Because, like you said, I really was interested in the concept of a thriller romance combo book because I love thrillers and I'm trying to get more into romance, so that is really like intriguing to me as a concept, and I really liked that aspect of this book. I just felt like it was 20% thriller in the beginning, which kind of hooks you, and then the rest of the book was very kind of toxic romance.
I want to say. It was more like trauma bonding.
It was. I felt like I was reading an old Coho book, Colleen Hoover book, that was like, I don't want to say glorifying trauma, but like kind of.
But it also makes sense because like you can only relate to, like, you see it all the time that people fall in love because they were together in a trauma, like it's high stakes trauma. Think about our fantasy books, like most of them probably get together because they're fighting dragons, or
I just think like, I don't know, like for some reason I hold this book to a different standard because it is set in the real world versus fantasy, but there were so many things where you have to like kind of suspend reality to believe this story, just in the sense of like the way kind of people react to the trauma. Like, I don't know, it felt like it needed to have a little more depth as far as like how people were responding to the trauma. If you don't know, the premise of this book is about a young girl who gets basically abducted alongside her sister's fiance. So her and her sister's fiance are abducted one night, and they are basically held in a basement, and they are fighting for their lives to escape. And it's about how they kind of like deal with that situation, and etc., etc., and how they kind of, I don't think it's a spoiler to say how they come together because this is supposed to be a love story. My number one critique of this book is that, I mean, we're sisters. Like, the sister bond in this was not strong.
no.
And I think that you really have to almost villainize the sister, the one that was engaged to the guy, in a way in order to make this story work, and I didn't like that.
Yeah, they had to villainize her. They had to make her more unlikable.
Yeah.
And stuff that you didn't know about in the beginning only came out after the situation. But also, like, if I fell in love with your fiance, it's not really a spoiler, but the fiance and the sister were together for like 10 plus years. Like you knew this person, you grew up with this person.
Yeah, I don't think it really worked. I think like I said, you just kind of have to like, also like the way the parents reacted to everything, the way that the sister was reacting. There was like, I watch a ton of true crime documentaries, okay? If you were truly kidnapped and like,
and the stuff that happened to the female lead, no, like,
I feel like there would be a lot more kid gloves, a lot more therapy, a lot more, I don't know.
her work were like gossiping about her afterwards, and I'm like, dude, does not like anyone know? Like, maybe I have more empathy for the people outside what happened in this couple.
Yeah, it almost seemed like the kidnapping like didn't seem that serious.
Yeah.
I don't know, in this book it just felt like it was like a means to like catapult these people together instead of like actually dealing with the trauma of something that serious happening to two people. So I don't know. And yeah, I think the sister, like the way the sister relationship was handled was like the biggest no for me, the biggest turn off. Like I could get over the trauma bonding, I could get over the confusion between the two characters, but I think yeah, just like the sister relationship was the biggest ick for me. But I think you said you liked the quote-unquote third act breakup. Like,
oh yeah, the reason why they break up, I really liked it because it made sense. About 80% of most romance books do have a third act breakup in some sort. This does. It's not really a spoiler. You kind of expect it in a romance book. Anyway, I really liked the third act breakup in this. I actually really love the male lead. I truly love him. He was what he went through, his emotions, and his honor. Like, his honor is what I really appreciated about him. Like, throughout, like, he was honoring his fiance, he was honoring respect to the female lead, honoring trauma, like, honoring what people needed, and he might come off like bad boy energy, frat boy energy, but in his core, he was very honor trope. I don't even know what that means, and I really appreciate it as a male lead.
As I'm thinking about it now, it just kind of seems like, okay, if you have the concept of sister falls in love with her sister's fiance, like you have to have something so horrible to justify that in order to make the romance work. I feel like that's what this story is trying to do, is like think of the most horrible thing you can think of in order to justify this budding romance between a sister and her sister's fiance. And I just don't think it really worked in this story. I think it should have been just like a thriller, or it should have just been a romance. Like trying to combine the two didn't really work because I felt like the trauma wasn't truly acknowledged and properly dealt with. Like the sister relationship was flawed. I think they just had to like really villainize the sister in order to make any justification for the main character getting with the sister's boyfriend or fiance. But I don't know. Although I will say I did actually really like the writing, and I want to read more of Jennifer Hartmann because I really, when I was reading it, enjoyed the writing and the flow of this book.
And it was so fast paced. Like, what book did you just buy by her?
I did just buy Older by Jennifer Hartmann because I like an age gap romance. So I'm going to try that one. And that might be more my alley because I feel like, you know, I can more justify getting with your best friend's dad, I guess, than your sister's fiance. Is that weird to say? But yeah, I just think the premise didn't really work for this. I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. It was a fun ride, but like I had issues.
And this was our first time reading Jennifer Hartmann, and we want to read more of her. That is like, even though...
Yeah, that's the key takeaway.
Yeah, that's a key takeaway. We enjoyed the book. That's why we gave it a 3.5. We do have our criticisms, like we said, but at the end of the day, we just bought a new book by the same author because we like this book, which is the takeaway of these buddy reads.
And it's fun that we can like both read it at the same time and then like vent and talk about it together, because so often we read a book and I'm like, oh my god, Jen, you need to read this so that I can talk to you about it. And like it's fun when we actually read it at the same time so we can actually have those conversations.
Join a book club. Honestly, that's why it's fun. If you haven't joined a book club, I recommend it. This is our book club. Like,
it's just the two of us. If you want to join our book club, just like, you know, read our buddy reads and then we can all talk about them. That'd be fun.
Just comment up below. Yeah, we're doing another drawing, which
Is that a good segue? Should we just do our drawing now?
Let's start
August drawing?
August drawing.
Okay, for our August drawing, we have kind of a mixed bag. There's not that many in here, but it's like all books that are on Kindle Unlimited or that we have on Kindle so that we can both read it at the same time. It's a lot of romance since I'm on my romance journey and Jen's always on her romance journey. But basically what we do is we just like all agree, all between the two of us, agree what can go in here, and we say like, yes, we are down to read that book. And then how we do it is process of elimination. So we pick one out and we say, okay, we're not reading la da da. Yeah. And then the last one is the one we're reading.
Yeah. So are you ready? This is the blind reaction and the last book we have to read.
So Piggy promised the last one we have to read in August. No swapping. No swapping.
You go first.
All right, we are not reading. Oh wait, before, what do you hope it is?
I want Fragile Sanctuary or Mile High because I feel like I've wanted to start that journey.
I actually do want to read this. Like, if we don't draw this, I might just start it.
Do it.
Because this is thriller romance, and like we just talked about, like, I'm looking for thriller romance.
Can you comment below because I would love thriller romance. If you guys have any recommendations.
Yes, I heard there's a good amount of mystery in this.
Yeah.
Watch that be the first one that we're like, we're not reading.
Okay, I'm going to put it down here. Just trust us.
So you hope it's Fragile Sanctuary. I also hope it's Fragile Sanctuary. We are not reading A Love Letter to Whiskey.
We are not reading Because I Killed Him.
Hyped book. We are not reading The Things We Leave Unfinished.
We are not reading The Evergreen.
You have to read that though.
I know. I got an arc of Stolen Crown and I haven't read The Evergreen, but I love Everking.
We are not reading... Oh my god, you really wrap these tight.
Surprise, surprise!
We are not reading Under Your Scars.
Ooh.
I did throw some dark romance in there.
We are not reading Insatiable.
Oh, dark romance I'm gonna read. We are not reading Feather So Vicious.
We are not reading Court of Ice and Ash, which is book number 1 in the Broken Kingdom. Because we just wanted it to be chaotic.
We are not reading Mile High.
Ooh. We are not reading sorry. Oh my gosh. What is this? Atmosphere. Atmosphere.
We are not reading Say You Swear. Wait, was that in there twice?
No, I only put it on one.
Oh, okay, well, we're not reading it.
We are not reading Wild Love by Elsie Server. I need to read Rose Hill and Gold Rush by the end of the year. It's worth 80 points on my board, so.
I love that when we get down to the wire with these, like, I start forgetting what we even put in here, so it actually does get exciting. We are not reading Reliquary, which we actually both have to read for NetGalley.
We are not reading Fieldy Guild.
We are not reading Phantasma.
We are not reading Birdman and Lies.
Okay, we are not reading The Everlasting. I do want to read that. I heard it's a good yearning.
God of Malice. Maybe that.
I don't know much about those series. I was like, let's just throw it in. We are not reading Bones.
Ooh. And I have an art copy, so I have to read it anyway next month, so.
Same. Just giving ourselves more homework.
Yeah. We are not reading Child of Soleil.
I do want to read that.
I don't know, the cover is so pretty.
We are not reading Fragile Sanctuary.
Ah!
Damn it! I was like, I didn't want to jinx it. I was like, oh my god, it's getting down to the wire. We haven't pulled it yet.
I think there's like 4 or 5 left. We are not reading. If I can open this.
Firebird. Forgot we put that in. We are not reading... A Kiss of Deception.
Ooh.
Or The Kiss of Deception.
The Poison Daughter.
Not reading.
We're not reading The Poison Daughter.
Alright, whichever one I don't pick is the one we're reading. I feel so much pressure.
That is pressure.
We are not reading Mind F series. So what are we reading, Jen?
I think I know.
I don't know.
I think I know.
Wait, let me guess. I think it's...
It's technically a romance. You don't know? I think I know. It's Metal Singer.
Yes! We need to read that.
Okay, then it's Metal Singer. I thought it was the Evergreen, but I guess I forgot that we took it out earlier.
I think so.
So Metal Singer.
I'm so excited.
I'm excited.
We've been wanting to read this for like a year.
We have the Fairloop Metal Singer cover. And then we also have the Alcrate cover, which are such pretty additions.
I like the Owl Crate one.
Yeah, I really like the Alcrate one too, because it gets that like picture. I heard this has a crazy ending, and people still give this 4 stars. Like, I don't know. It'd be cool to read a book that's hyped. So, just to recap, we are going to read Metal Singer, and we have 3 copies. We have the Alcrate, the indie version,
and the Fairy Loop.
so hopefully we can actually read it.
And we're probably gonna read it on Kindle. So
yeah.
Yay, I'm excited. I've been wanting to read this book for so long and understand the hype, so I'm happy with that pick.
I am too. I feel like it's gonna be a quick read.
Okay guys, thanks for chatting with us about our current reads and what we want to read and just books in general and doing our drawing with us, and tune back in next time to see what we thought about Metal Slinger. If you have read this, let us know below, but no spoilers, obviously.
Thanks for reaching at the end of the video. If there's a blooper section, it would be added later, but I'm excited. I'm really excited. I love reading with my sister, and this is our channel. So, goodbye.
Bye. Is that like too much to put in? Too much personal stuff?
No, people like our ramble.
Okay.
I hope they like my boobs.
Dog is entering the chat right now. Hold on. I can hear your cat snoring. Thanks, they're perfect.
You're welcome. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
Earthquake. Or just perfect.
Burr, burr, burr. I read the first, oh my god, I just lost the thing.
Cheater.
Where's it?